The Mendoza line. Thanks to Connor for his great idea. And thanks to Dan again for his great 10 truths from college football week 4 idea. This is interesting. I think what spawned this, Mensch, I don't think I know, was that Pete Thamel, our good buddy, came on game day the other day and did a report where he talked to 25 different NFL executives, personnel people, scouts, all that, and asked them, who's your number one quarterback for the 2026 NFL draft right now? And the numbers, the responses and the numbers attached to some of the names were a little bit interesting. I'll read them to you, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Lenora Sellers, who played this past week after being questionable after the injury, had the most votes with 8. Garrett Nussmeier had 7, just behind him. Then there was a drop-off. There were 2 other names that had 3. That was Carson Beck, John Mateer. Obviously Miami and Oklahoma respectively. Then I guess, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That, and then 5th on the list with 2, just behind Beck and Mateer, was Drew Allar from Penn State. And then just behind Allar were 2 more names. Sam Levitt with 1 and Arch Manning with 1. So it begged the question for Connor, and I think it's a great question. We're here to answer it today. What is the Mendoza line? Because Mendoza wasn't on that list.
No.
Which I found interesting, but go ahead.
We're talking NFL draft, correct? We're not talking about a
2026 NFL draft, yes. Because right now, if we were doing college football rankings with quarterbacks, Mateer is number 1. Like, no problem.
It's a different thing, right?
It's a different thing, yes. This is for the NFL draft. Where do you want to go with this? Because I could just rattle off what I think my list is. Do you want me to do that first, and then you can respond, or
yeah, go for it. Let's do it that way.
All right, okay. If I had to say right now and re-rack them, and I think Dan and I talked about this, maybe it'll be next week after these big games where I feel like I have enough of a sample size to officially release my new 2026 updated quarterback rankings. And we gave the fine folks who showed up in Chicago for our live show a kind of an in-between update on that. That's what happens when you show up to live shows. I'm not, we're not at Pat McAfee status. We don't have $500,000 to give away for one kick. But I give away an updated QB rankings when you come and show up. Awesome crowd there, by the way. Thank you to everyone who's watching, who was there that night. Like, you guys
hung out to meet us afterwards.
After week, and like the energy, and like it wasn't this massive crowd, but it was more people there than I thought, and the venue was amazing. It was a special night for both of us, and I can't thank our crew and the folks who showed up like enough. Anyway, here are my rankings right now, kind of off the cuff, but I'm going to update it next week after we have like another full. This is going to be a big week for guys like Allar, for guys like Dante Moore, for a lot of these top guys, LSU, Nussmeier. Mm-hmm. I would start there. Garrett Nussmeier is still my QB1. And I recognize that offense hasn't clicked the way you want that offense to click. I think that they're playing complementary football. I am so damn impressed with the way he's managing games, how he's reeled it back in. I think he understands the onus is on him to allow that defense, which is light years ahead of where it was a year ago, and to create more balance at the run game and all those things. He has a role to play in this offense, and it will continue to increase, and he will show up in the big moments, I believe. We'll find out. But I just trust Nuss. Number 2 would be Lenora Sellers, even though I have not budged an ounce off my stance that my man Lenoris has, like, I desperately want to see him come back and play another year of college football. I desperately want him to be closer to 40 starts than 30 starts when he goes into the NFL, for his sake. Not for his agents, not for any people in his circle that want the money and the fame and all that stuff. For Lenore, not even for South Carolina.
True.
And I love Shane. I love Shane Beamer. I love a lot of people there in Columbia. But for Lenoris, that's what we're talking about, the player going to the draft. I want to see that. But I understand how he got 8 votes. He's dynamic. He's different. But he's got to continue to develop as a passer. After that, I would put Mateer slightly ahead of Beck. But I would have a bang, bang, bang of Mateer, Beck, Mendoza. And I want to see more from Mendoza, but Mendoza could very easily become 3 on that list, depending on the way he plays. So if the Mendoza line for me is at 5, then that means I got him ahead of a bunch of other guys. I want to explain to people there are some national scouting lists. There are scouts across the country that do this in the preseason. I just talked about in Michigan. Taylon Green from Arkansas was rated higher than a lot of other big names on this list and on other lists.
Mm-hmm.
He's a guy that would be below Mendoza for me, but I'm saying keep an eye on what he does. Dante Moore, I just watched a lot of his tape. Oregon. I think he's got a chance to really be good. I'm seeing a guy who in not flashes, but in certain areas of his game is outstanding. I don't think he's that fast, but I do think he's mobile and quick and moves around. I think he throws really well on the run. I think he throws a really nice deep ball. I think he can drive the ball down the field. But I think there's a lot of like line drives. I think there's some trajectory and some layering stuff that he can improve upon. I think his game is just not refined because he hasn't played a lot of ball. Played in 2023, didn't play last year. He's with Will Stein. Like, Will Stein is the QB whisperer right now in college football. Look no further than Bo Nix, right? Look at what he did last year. Dylan Gabriel, right? And Bo Nix had 2 years. Think about what Bo was that first year coming from Auburn, a wounded duck. And then, I mean, ironically, right? That was a play on words. But then took off flying, right?
Fly ducks fly, yeah.
Fly ducks fly, as Mensch likes to say. So I think Dante Moore, I see what people are saying. Like, I see those things. And I finally sat down and watched the tape. And I studied Northwestern. He got off to a slow start. Then he kept getting better. And then I watched last week against Oregon State. And he was dealing at times. But I think that he's going to continue to improve. And Stein's the guy to help him do that. So I don't want Sellers in this class. I don't want Dante Moore in this class. I don't want Arch Manning in this class. And he's not going to be, as we said, going back to May. And it's not because I don't think they're talented or good enough. I don't want them in this class because I don't want that for them. Right?
Yeah.
And then other names you have to include. Klubnik, not playing to the level, really has hurt his draft stock this year.
He's fallen below the Mendoza line. I agree with you.
He's below the Mendoza line. And that takes a lot for me to say because I believe in that young man and the leadership and the way he cares. But he's not played to the level. And we've seen some more blemishes in his game than I expected to see. I thought he was going to do this. Like, take it to another level. Instead, he is taking a step back. And that happens. Sam Levitt needs another year of college. Put him in the list with Sellers and Dante Moore and Arch.
Drew Allar.
Super talented. So I would have Taylon Green, Dante Moore, Klubnik, Levitt, then Allar.
Wow.
And I want to remind
Penn
people.
State fans, don't come after me, man. I hope you heard that. I mean, that is, I'm blown away. Listen, I'm with you. I am lower than I think almost everyone else. I don't know if I'm that low, but that's interesting.
I hope he proves me wrong. I'm excited to see him against Oregon. I hope that they've just kind of been vanilla and I hope he's got a lot of new faces at wide receiver, and we're going to get into this a lot more on Thursday. I watched a guy who has the same problems. And I'm wondering why those other receivers go off to was Ole Miss and somewhere else, I think in the SEC, and they're thriving or projected to thrive.
Right.
And why would you leave a program that is legitimately a contender for the national championship with a quarterback who by a lot of NFL scout standards is potentially a first round pick, one of the top 2 or 3 quarterbacks in this draft?
Yeah.
Why would you leave? And by the way, Andy, their offensive coordinator, like, they're never going to say it, but I just see some of the play calling versus the play calling on 3rd down and 6 when they need it. When they need a play, it's over the middle. It's receiver coming back to him. It's a quick out, which he can throw, not ironically, but it's interesting. But the swing passes, the post corners,
What is going on?
running away from him. It's the fades. It's a lack of visualization and or lack of touch and being able to layer it and feel as a passer.
I'm seeing the
That
same
is
things you're saying.
concerning. And if it's concerning against Villanova and concerning, I think it was FIU was the other tape I watched.
Yep. Nevada, FIU, and Villanova, the teams they played.
I'm concerned what that's going to be against Oregon, and we'll see.
Okay. I want to make this very clear. I agree with you on the quarterbacks that you think should go back, and I want to make that clear because there's going to be some names in here that I think are very high. Lenore Sellers from South Carolina is by far the best quarterback in this class. It's not even close. He is the best runner. He is the best deep ball thrower, and when you look at his intermediate passing, it's not even close. Lenore Sellers is an elite quarterback prospect who is only going to get better. After watching all of his tape this year, I went back and watched it. I feel better about him now than I did coming into the year, and you know how I felt about him. Yep. I don't think it's close. And then I looked at the rest of the list, and I'm going to be honest with you. I just said to myself, have some balls, Mensch. Like, you can do this, and you can do all the math and all the mitigating factors of why Nussmeier should be, 2, maybe even 1. I get all of that. I understand where you're coming from. He's not for me. He's not. I'm going with tier 2. He just played too well, and I get it. I know it's a roller coaster ride. I understand the flaws. Mateer, to me, has put himself in that position that he's the second quarterback available. Next.
I see why. I see why.
I've seen enough from Dante Moore to think he's 3 right now. The frame, the accuracy, I see a guy who's trusting his reads. I see a guy who's trusting his protection. He has not faced a high level of competition yet. We'll see how that goes this week. I love Dante Moore. And I said it in the beginning of the year that I said, and I'm gonna beat this drum for as long as I can, that I thought they could be better at quarterback this year than they were last year, and I still believe that right now at this point in the season. I think this kid is that freaking good.
I would agree and say I don't know that he's. I thought Dylan Gabriel was like getting the ball out and processing and all those things really, really quickly and had a unique understanding of that offense and like could orchestrate that offense way better than you would expect someone who just transferred in.
Loved Dylan Gabriel last year. I just think this kid's
and Dylan Gabriel, like he won the battle for Cleveland. He's the backup quarterback. Kenny Pickett's gone. Shador, like whatever, so, like watch from the sideline. So like there's obviously it was a 3rd round pick.
Yeah, good player.
But this cat's different talent wise. I totally agree. And I'm kind of I gave you a real 30,000 foot view of what it was. But I'm excited to talk about Allar about Allar and the Penn State offense versus Oregon versus Oregon and Dante Moore's offense because I see some real differences.
And I don't want to steal your guy because he's been your guy from the beginning. Will Stein, the offense coordinator from Oregon, is your guy, but he's my guy now too. Like I absolutely believe in what Will Stein could do. So I'm going Sellers, Mateer, Moore. Then I got Nuss. I love Nuss. I do. I love the brain. It's just a matter of him. If you look at the 3 guys ahead of him, it's clear what he's missing compared to what they have. He doesn't have the physical tools that they have. Great quarterback though, and I think he's going to be a really good quarterback in the league. Then I go Beck. I think Carson Beck's played his way into that, that top 5 conversation. And then when I get after Beck, I think that Allar and Mendoza are both there. I think Allar's got a strong arm. I will say this, for a guy who's got that much arm strength, he's a shitty deep ball thrower. And I don't get it. I just don't get why. He anything with touch is a problem. He's got a laser when he wants to drive the ball.
Yes.
I was encouraged by the way he moved in the Nevada game. I thought but it goes back to what we've been saying all along. Against subpar pass rushes, he's been very good in terms of moving. And then when he gets into these elite athletes, so we're going to see something different against Oregon. And I'll say this about Mendoza. I really like Mendoza. When you get him off his first read and can keep him in the pocket, it starts to be a problem because Mendoza's it's not that he
That's
can't
why I
get
said
to his second
he's
read.
going to be a tough evaluation.
I meant to say that. I meant to lead with that. You said that Saturday night, and I don't know whether I was tired or what. I wasn't understanding what you were saying. 100% correct. because he is in the perfect system. They give him those reads. He's a surgeon on RPO. His release, timing, and accuracy make him a surgeon on RPO. And he can throw the deep ball if it's there. If he gets that first read, he can throw the deep out. All of that's good. But if you take away that first read and the footwork and the accuracy starts to get a little more shaky, it's not a mobility thing. He can move around.
No, he can run.
Plays. It's
and
not
he throws really well on the run too.
Right. It's almost like he speeds up his process a little bit. I don't know what it is. I think it's something you can fix, but right now that's a weakness in his game that I see. But yeah, let's just say this too. Some damn good quarterbacks in that group. It's exciting. It's an exciting group. We'll see who comes out and who stays. I think Sellers could be the first overall pick if he comes out. I still hope he stays because I'm with you. It's not about being that first overall pick or wherever. It's about being the best quarterback that you can be, and I think he will benefit from staying in school longer and getting more experience.
This is awesome. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. And the beauty is, honestly, we've had a lot of good individual games. It feels like the season starts in week 5.
Yeah, we're going to learn so much.
Do you know what I mean? It's like conference matchups. It's like critical games. Even the teams that don't have a ranking next to them, like Arkansas for Notre Dame is scary. Illinois for USC. Illinois just got dumped on, and they've got injuries on defense. But like this is kind of the next step up before things get really hard for USC. LSU, right. Ole Miss. Ole Miss is dangerous right now. But is Ole Miss really legit? Or is LSU as good as we think they could be because of the defense? Right. Can Nuss shut you up?
Yeah. Yeah.
Washington's dangerous for Ohio State, I mean. A&M, Auburn's dangerous. That Auburn team is scary.
They're getting a pissed off Auburn team.
Iowa always kind of is like the snake in the weeds, and they'll do little things and they'll take you off your game. And they will get Mendoza off of that first read a lot. They are so disciplined and like consistent defensively. I'm excited to see that. Mississippi State, not a team you want to overlook for this year. And Tennessee's got them. I think at Mississippi State, right? Cowbell's going. Is that right? Oregon, Penn State. Alabama, Georgia. Like, we're going to find out a lot about these dudes.